for Lou Dort. On the year, he averages 10 or so the first quarter. Kind of it goes. You bet it goes.
And that
Luka.
That is strictly strength. That's what that was. Strictly strength. I mean, the guy got hit hard, but good talk about focus and an ability to get the shot up off the window. What a play by Luka. Off the dribble, contact, concentration, three-point opportunity.
Something like we've never seen before. Luka going back to Dallas.
It'll be almost like finals atmosphere.
Oh my gosh, yes. James got it!
How deep was
Knock
that?
It down, baby!
How deep was that? I say Vandy does so many things.
Missed a calendar year, basically. Luka! Was that a logo? It was very close to it.
That was just about a...
Vincent wanted to attack. Here comes Jax! Down the middle! Look out below!
That's the way I like to see Jax attack the rim. If you're going to go for a reason, not just a season. As Jax gets to flush, then the Oklahoma City Thunder say, let's talk this over just a bit, as the Lakers have taken a 96-90 advantage.
On Reaves. Lakers double up. It's Caruso. They're going to give him that shot. Long shot, long rebound. Long lead for LeBron. He's got it. Reaves finds him.
That's a good job by LeBron. Semi-challenged shot.
Vanderbilt set that screen on Dort. Doncic wanted the matchup with Hartenstein. Keeping the dribble alive. Little hesitation, and he's going to get the bounce.
That's going to be a technical, and he's gone.
Oh, Doncic.
As he looked at the officials and was kind of like taunting JT Orr. Thought he would have gotten fouled on the play, and JT Orr says, I got nothing to do with that. A free throw off of the ejection by Doncic.
But to get his second tee here in the fourth quarter, he clearly said something that JT Orr didn't like. And you got to know if you're Doncic, if you've got a 1T, you got to be on your best behavior.
Yeah, you don't even want to look at the official after you make a play like that. I mean, man, he made a tough shot.
KC gets the win. They punished the Lakers in the paint, 56-32. They also turned 19 turnovers into 29 points. Remember, at the half, that was 12 turnovers into 20 points. So the Lakers did a much better job with the basketball, but still, that's too many. But I got to start with this. The Lakers were up 108-107 with 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in that game after a Luka Doncic bucket. Luka then yells at a fan, gets his second technical of the game. He's kicked out. Vando gets a tee for blocking a shot and just staring at Alex Caruso after that. And the game kind of unraveled from there. And I bring it up because I just felt like this was one of the games of the year in the NBA. It was a lot of fun. Both teams were playing at such a high level. It felt like a playoff game inside that arena for the crowd. And to maybe not have that concept as the refs of what's going on in this game and to make that call, I just think was egregious a little bit. And I'm disappointed in a big game because it was a great game, and then it just turned at that point 29-12 after that.
Yeah.
For the last 7 minutes and 47 seconds. And we'll talk about OKC, and we'll give them their love in a minute. But that was disappointing.
JJ,
for sure.
You're up one when the Luka ejection happens. Did you get an explanation for why he was ejected?
Not yet. Apparently he said something to a fan. That's all I could gather.
How do you measure that when clearly the game kind of flips from that point on as a factor, and how do you kind of square that with the rest of the game and how it went?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Played so well defensively in that third quarter, then we didn't get off to a great start on that end to start the fourth. And then just trying to manage on the front end of a back-to-back games that we need to win. You know, everybody's minutes, and you know, I had a timeout situation because we lost our challenge, so I only had one going into the fourth, and you know, was trying to eat a little bit more time. We got down 5, turned it over. They come back at an and one, called it then. You know, I'm kicking myself. Could have called it possession earlier, gotten LeBron back in the game. But I think our guys' fight and spirit, withstanding a bunch of haymakers in that first half and just continuing to play and then coming out and really playing awesome defense for 12 minutes. It was a great game. It was a great game that unfortunately didn't get to sort of finish out the way that I think every basketball fan would want because of some decision making on some individuals' parts.
Do you take some general encouragement out of the way you played in these 2 games now as you head into the final 3? Obviously, you have to win 2 still to lock in that 3 seed, but do you?
I do. Yeah.
JJ, LeBron early seemed like was out of a lot of rhythm. Turnovers were up and stuff like that. What did you see from him as the game wore on? And then I guess too late, how did you feel like your team handled their ball pressure when it came to like turnovers and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think losing Luka there and having AR out there solo, like it was against this team, you need 3 ball handlers out there at all times, and just couldn't do that in the fourth. I thought LeBron, as the game wore on, was awesome, and I think that just the attack mode that he was. Good mentality, just attacking the basket.
JJ, you mentioned pregame that when you're playing a team 2 games in a row, the team that loses the first game comes in, makes some adjustments. They made some defensive adjustments with how they were guarding ball screens with you guys trying to switch less. Shea was more aggressive offensively. What did you think of their initial adjustments and then how you guys countered that in, I guess, second, third quarter?
I thought the biggest thing, the entire first half, they just played really fast, and we had trouble setting our defense. So whether that was makes or misses, it was very obvious. They putting an emphasis on getting the ball across and attacking early. First play of the game, Shea just going downhill. So I think that was it. And then they played a lot of coverage with Hartenstein, mixed in a little bit of blitzing and a couple reds here and there, but they mostly played coverage with him.
You hadn't played Jackson and Vando a lot together lately. You gave them some minutes together in the third quarter. What did you think that did for your group, especially from a physicality standpoint, after they were getting as many offensive rebounds as they were up until that point in the third quarter?
Yeah, I felt like we needed that for the defensive end. I thought it was really good. And again, that's sometimes that combination is really good. Sometimes it's not, because it's harder to space the floor that way. But I thought with the way the game was going, it was good to give that a look, and thought Vando was awesome, particularly in the second half.
LeBron, so up 1 when Luka gets ejected. What did you see kind of in that interaction, and how did that impact the rest of the game?
Yes, it was a weird couple minutes after that. Starting with the ejection. I don't know why the ref was taking it personal. He had already gave Luka one, and Luka knew that. And Luka was going back and forth at that time with a fan that was sitting courtside, like Luka does when fans get to talk out of their mind, whatever the case may be. And Luka was going back and forth, and the ref took it upon himself to think it was, verse him or whatever the case may be. But then another tee on Vando after a block shot, and the game was just weird as hell after that moment.
You mentioned that the ref seems to take it personal when Luka said what he said to a fan. Did it start to seem to feel personal with you guys? Because, like you said, Vando got the tee, Luka obviously had the second tee, and then just some weird.
Yeah, the game was kind of, this is a playoff. We both teams knew that this was going to be a playoff type atmosphere, playoff type competition, playoff type feeling, and it just got weird. The game got weird after that.
LeBron, if you zoom out a bit and just consider these 2 games, are you encouraged with the overall performance against obviously an excellent team in OKC, and what that tells you?
About losing?
No, encouraged about your perspectives moving forward as a team.
Still got more work. Still 3 games left. We got a lot of work to do still.
essentially got to win 2 of the 3 to secure the number 3 seed. Are you still just worrying about Dallas though for right now?
Yeah, of course. That's always the motto. You know, we had our opportunities tonight. They played exceptionally well. Tip your hat. They shot the ball extremely well. Now our focus on Dallas.
LeBron, what's the best way to deal with a team that's very physical? I mean, you guys shot 15, 16 more free throws than them, but felt like there were still more out there. Maybe for you.
There were.
How do you deal with that?
You match physicality with physicality. That's it. We did that tonight. They shot the ball extremely well. Like I said, you tip your hat to them.
You guys go to Dallas now tomorrow. You're one of the few people in the world who knows a little bit what it's like to go back to a place where you've done something special. What's it going to be like for Luka?
Well, his situation is going to be totally different than mine. I think he'll get a standing ovation, and people will clap and cheer, and he'll hear his name a lot. That's what I'm expecting. My situation was totally different. He had no choice in the matter of what happened in his situation. I did. So it'd be totally different.
As a team, what do you guys want to do for him to support him through the emotion of that?
Oh, whatever he needs. I think winning will be the best solution.
December 2nd, 2010, yeah, that was unique compared to all these return games.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
December 2nd, 2010, unique compared to other return games. But you have been a part of the 80s first game back in New Orleans, etc. What does it do for a team that's still coming together to all get behind the new player when you have this type of game on the calendar tomorrow?
I think it's very important. I mean, it's camaraderie. It's holding each other down, and whenever we face anything. And I think tomorrow's gonna be a lot of emotions going through Luka. Both the interior and the exterior, and it's our job just to do our job. If we do our job out on the floor, then we'll help them tremendously.